Love Boise State Public Radio podcasts? They are free to enjoy, but not free to produce. If you can give, your support helps keep shows like Idaho Matters and Scandalize available to everyone. Donate now at boisestatepublicradio.org.
Good morning. Happy Monday. Happy February. This is The Connector, Idaho Daily News from Boise State Public Radio. I'm Troy Oppie. This morning, tariffs and Idaho, what they might mean for Idaho's economy. Plus, local transportation officials caught by surprise after an inspection revealed rapid deterioration of the Eckert Road Bridge in East Boise. It has since been closed. And state senators say banks cannot punish people for their political or religious views. Those stories and more on this February 3rd. It's The Connector. He didn't do it on day one, but President Donald Trump is making good on a campaign promise to slap tariffs on imports from friendly nations. Starting tomorrow, 25% on goods imported from both Mexico and Canada, with few exceptions, a new 10% tariff on many goods imported from China. Retaliatory tariffs from Canada and Mexico will affect Idaho. Canada is Idaho's top export partner. That's according to the State Department of Commerce. $1.5 billion of exports in 2023, slightly more than that the year before. Food and agriculture products, chemicals, fertilizer, and cosmetics accounted for about half of all goods produced here and sent north. Precious stones, metals, and jewelry were another fifth of exports to Canada. Many of those products are now set to be taxed in Canada at 25%, matching the U.S. tariff rate. The State Department of Commerce reports that $1.3 billion worth of goods came to Idaho in 2023, led by food and ag and wood, paper, and pulp products. Under tariffs set to take effect tomorrow, those imported goods would have incurred a more than $330 million tax. Mexico was Idaho's third largest trading partner in 2023, according to Commerce, with $284 million in goods sent across the southern border, most of that food and ag, and nearly $169 million in imported goods from Mexico, which has not announced a rate for its retaliatory tariffs yet. The rapid deterioration of wooden pilings supporting the Eckert Road Bridge in East Boise found during an inspection last week caught local officials by surprise. The Ada County Highway District Friday ordered an emergency closure of the bridge near Barber Park, which crosses the Boise River, with around 7,000 vehicles a day now needing to use the Park Center Bridge or Highway 21 to detour across the river. ACHD Director Ryan Head outlined what would come next for District Commissioners Friday.
With the declaration, staff will be moving immediately past the concept design and go straight into design of a bridge. We'll be working with all appropriate permitting agencies to begin the work and work towards full removal and replacement of the bridge.
Commissioners and Director Head agreed that the project should be prioritized in a similar fashion to the Cloverdale Road I-84 overpass replacement following a truck fire in 2018. That overpass was replaced in about a year. District commissioners also want detailed reports on how the deterioration happened so quickly, says Commissioner Dave McKinney, who notes he used to inspect bridges for the state.
It strikes me that something kind of fell through the cracks here for this to sneak up on us like this. I would have thought that the deterioration of the timber piles would have been monitored more carefully.
The bridge last had a detailed inspection about 5 years ago. There's no timeline to demolish or repair at this point, but an ACHD spokesperson Friday said department staff was working quickly to develop a plan and more information should be available this week. Meanwhile, pedestrian and cyclist traffic is still permitted over the bridge. We head to the State House now, where an Idaho Senate committee recently passed a bill that would prevent banks from refusing service to customers based on religious or political views. Our Julie Luqueta has that story.
The proposed law would prohibit financial institutions from debanking customers for expressing speech protected under the First Amendment right. Bill sponsor Senator Kelly Anthon said it would protect freedom of religion, Second Amendment rights, and industries like agriculture, energy, and mining.
In other words, you can't be debanked because a financial institution suddenly dislikes the fact that your store sells guns or your bank account is used to run a meat processing plant.
Committee member and Assistant Minority Leader Senator James Ruckty pushed back, saying political views are not a protected class.
This doesn't feel like respect for the free market, I do think these banks should be able to determine whether dealing with a hate or extremist group is one they want to be affiliated with.
State Affairs member Senator Ben Taves said a fair number of lawmakers on the committee have been called extremist or hateful themselves.
Do we really want that to be the decision of a bank to whether because they think somebody's hateful or because they think somebody's extremist, that they can take away their ability to bank?
The regulations would only apply to banks and financial institutions worth at least $100 billion. Anton said the bill is not meant to target homegrown Idaho banks. It now goes to the Senate floor for possible amendments. Julie Duguetta, Boise State Public Radio News.
A Boise man will be in his 70s before he's eligible for parole after supplying drugs to a woman last year who overdosed and died. Ada County District Judge Nancy Baskin Friday sentenced Jeremiah Allen to 20 years to life on a variety of drug charges. Allen was found guilty of drug trafficking in a jury trial in November. Prosecutors, though, had removed the manslaughter charge he initially faced after being connected to the overdose death of 41-year-old Talia Salzano in February last year. Allen and Salzano were initially found unresponsive in a Boise residence. Allen's sentence, handed down last week, also included a drug trafficking charge from an unrelated case to which he pleaded guilty. One week from today, Valley County Commissioners will hold a public hearing on proposed changes to that county's comprehensive development plan. The McCall Star-News reports changes include removing language in the plan that encourages development in timber areas that can present a greater risk to development from wildfire. Another change would update language to encourage new development closer to existing infrastructure and remove language that calls for higher density projects to be at the valley perimeter. A third change would add language to reflect a new law passed last year that allows qualifying property owners to add agricultural protections to their land, prohibiting development. The public hearing will begin at 2:30 next Monday at the Valley County Courthouse. The main 100 and 200-mile races in Idaho's Sled Dog Challenge begin today in Cascade. Mushers will take off from the Lake Cascade boat ramp at about 11 a.m. They'll trek up the mountains west of Lake Cascade, all the way to checkpoints near New Meadows and the Little Ski Hill outside McCall. The 100-mile course features more than 13,000 feet of cumulative elevation climb in 3 stages. The 4-leg 200-mile race has more than 20,000 feet of climbing in total. Racers have mandatory rest periods at checkpoints with expected finishes February 4th and 5th. In this past weekend's Warm Lake stage race, 17-year-old Caroline Nevels of Middleton captured the 52-mile race victory, making up a 10-minute gap after stage 2 to beat the defending sled dog champion in that race by 2 minutes. It was a redemption of sort for Nevels, who, as a 16-year-old last year, had to withdraw after crashing into a snowbank. Thanks for listening to The Connector. Like and subscribe. That helps other people find this podcast. You can check out our website as well for the latest news, boisestatepublicradio.org. Stream us live, listen on demand as well. I'm Troy Oppie. Our news director is Sasha Woodruff. Our general manager is Tom Michael. Make it a great Monday.
Each morning, it's a new opportunity, a chance to start fresh. Up First from NPR makes each morning an opportunity to learn and to understand. Choose to join the world every morning with Up First, a podcast that hands you everything going on across the globe and down the street, all in 15 minutes or less. Start your day informed and anew with Up First by subscribing wherever you get your podcasts.